hear from our favorite employee, Joshua Jackson. You're listening to Geek Time S3E16, only on Howard 101.
Technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Geek Time continues transmitting next with
French's Josh Jackson.
This is Josh Jackson, and you and I are both listening to Geek Time.
Welcome back to Geek Time, S3E16, and this is where we talk some TV and movies. And John, why don't you start off with some ratings as you usually do?
Oh, they're playing my music. It's TV and movie time. Ratings, I'll give you some up-to-the-minute ratings. I just saw on Twitter that last night The Big Bang Theory beat American Idol in the ratings, which is not a good sign for American Idol, but a very good sign for The Big Bang Theory. And we talk about that show a little bit here and there, but it's really become quite the popular show. And Idol, there may be too much reality out there, you know. A lot of those competition shows are going to eat into it. It's early. We'll see how it goes. But
the show is getting old.
Yeah, I mean, it's 11th season already.
And you know what I think they made a mistake of doing is also telling people how old it was. Like, I watched the beginning, and there was all, like, the people trying out, like, yeah, I used to watch it when I was 3. I grew up on this. And so it just, you know, right away they're saying, it's an old, tired show.
That's an excellent point, because it does look, you see the kids when they're 5 years old, like, I can't wait to be Kelly Clarkson. And now they're 15 and 16.
Right.
And
my first thought was like, wow, has this been on that long?
Yeah, so that's the big ratings news. But even bigger news, I think we have an employee of ours on the phone, Ralph.
As the co-executive producers of Fringe, Geek Time is proud to welcome our leading man, Josh Jackson.
Welcome back to Geek Time, Josh Jackson.
Thank you for having me back, fellas. How you doing today?
How are you, sir?
I'm pretty damn good. It's a bit chilly up here in Vancouver, but life is pretty good.
Well, it's chilly down here in New York, so it must be damn chilly up there.
Yeah, it's winter. I don't know if you guys knew that, but yeah, it's here.
Hey, by the way, Joshua, a couple weeks ago on the show, one of our people here, Mike Cotton, who does our comic book stuff, apologized for blowing off the Fringe comic, thinking it was just some kind of BS thing. He's read it and loved it. Correct, Mike?
I compared when I heard about it to hearing that David Duchovny was writing an X-Files tie-in, and that it couldn't possibly be good or matter. And then I sat down and read it. And you know what, sir? Not only is it good and well-written, it has a lot of mythology in it, and I think fans of the show should read it. It's excellent. I apologize completely.
Well, thank you. Apology accepted. I'm glad you liked it, because that was the fun of it for me. I mean, look, you're being nice. I'm not a comic book writer. It's not like it's the greatest thing that's ever been out there, but to be able to write a comic book that's part of the canon mythology of the show, that was a ton of fun.
Yeah,
and I'm like you guys. I geeked out on the mythology of this show.
Yeah.
Know?
Well, also, Mike is a harsh critic. So your show returned last week amid.
That's okay. I'm a guilty Catholic, so we're perfect.
Your show returned last week amid some controversy, and let me just say, you know, the show was gone for a little while. I hate those hiatuses, and I was like, you know, so I sat down and watched it, and by the way, everybody, please just watch this live and keep the ratings up. They're kind of on the edge here, and I thought it was an excellent, excellent episode. I mean, just when I thought I was done getting emotional with you and Walter, now I'm getting emotional with you and Walter. I mean, it's so fantastic. It's just, I was sitting there going, okay, it's, you know, they're back, or how good can it get? And it just got so good, right, John?
Yeah, I really dug the episode. Friday nights, 9 o'clock, watch live, guys, on Fox. But yeah, I mean, you wonder if they're going to start going down the same path, going back to the alternate universe. But now Lincoln goes back to the alternate universe and sees himself. And then, of course,
great.
Josh, I mean, Peter's looking for somebody to love him, you know, and the stuff with the mother was all touching. And then Walter. And you think, Walter, it's this evil, hard-ass guy. And then he's got that soft spot. But where's he going to go? And we love the mystery, Joshua.
So if Walter's not making these new replicants, who do you think is? Who do you think's behind it? Not you, Josh, because you probably know.
Well, I don't want to spoil it for everyone, Ralph.
I'll tell you who I think it is.
Who do you think
it's the redheaded chick, right?
Oh, Nina Sharp?
Yeah.
You're close-ish, but not quite. You're close. I don't want to give it away because
don't. But how fantastic would it be if it was Spock, Dr. Bell? Oh my God, Leonard Nimoy comes back.
We brought him out of retirement again.
He comes out of retirement
just when he thought he was out.
Hey, so the story last week, Josh, was that again. Come on, what is this? You're in danger of being canceled again. Kevin Riley said, we're not in the business of losing money on the show. The show doesn't make money, and it's just where are we at? I'm getting pissed now. This isn't funny anymore.
We're at the same, tell me about it. We're at the same place that we seem to be every year at this time. Oh my God, it's all over. Oh my God, the sky is falling. And we've managed to just get past the last couple of years. But it's not a good sign when the guy who decides whether you live or die says, I'm not in the business of losing money. Yeah. So that's not a good thing. I would say, we still got to get people to watch it day and date to be there Fridays at 9. But it's pretty dicey this year, I'll be honest. And the most important thing, I think, at this point is if they are going to pull the plug on us, that they do it with enough time so the writers can actually finish the story.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. I mean, if you're going to do it, do it. If you're not going to do it, then say we're not going to do it. This show is so good and it's so well thought out that just to rip the plug out, it's not fair to the audience. And I will completely boycott every Fox show if they do that to you. But so will our audience.
But Josh, your writers, it seems like every season they've got to write it where, okay, the season might end or the series might end, and that's got to be frustrating because you did do the move to Friday. Friday is a death slot. You guys managed to thrive there, and now with TCA, which is a whole other thing we can get into, you wake up and you read like the president of your network is saying, you know what, business-wise, I don't know if this is such a good thing. And that's, as an actor, and you're so committed to the show, that's got to be frustrating as hell for you.
The only thing, look, the television industry is a cold, hard place. So I'm not surprised that he's saying things like that. And I don't, frankly, it doesn't really bother. It's not like I woke up that Monday and was like, I'm going to act half as hard today.
Is it?
So it doesn't really change my job, but I definitely think for the writers, they have said, and I believe them, that they have a really specific ending that is going to be wherever the show ends, they know where it's going to go. So each year now they have to halfway commit to getting there because they don't know if that's going to be the last episode.
Yeah.
You can see, the end of last year with only a few minor changes towards the end of the finale last year, that would have been the series ender, right? So they put them in this really awkward place.
Right.
And the great thing about our show for the last 3 years has been the fact that the audience has been so dedicated. The fans of the show, both of them, with you guys, have really, 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 really invested in the story and the mythology and following it week to week. And it would just be awful if we didn't get to properly finish the show.
Well, that's
my big hope.
Yeah, and we will,
whether it's next year, whenever it is.
Yeah, we will revolt over that because it has to be finished. And should we start sending red vines? Yeah, you just let me know, and we'll enact our audience. I mean, is it time for
By the way, can I tell you? I was specifically requested by Kevin Riley to not send red vines, which of course makes me want to send red vines. I just want you to know how impactful that was last year. People can chalk it up to a bunch of different reasons, but I think the Red Vines campaign is why I'm still employed this year.
Well, and that is why you're under contract now. So even anything else you do will still get a percentage.
We will pick
sure, you should be percentage players at this point.
No, but listen, that's so great to hear because we love the show so much, and that we can help like that is just super fantastic. Better than Save the Children Foundation. We're saving TV shows.
And Josh,
do something really useful with your time. Damn the children.
Exactly. I want to sit down and watch Fringe.
And Joshua, tying back into this season, it's the thing I love about it is if you've watched the show all along, every week is tying back into the earlier seasons. And I saw the villain that's coming next week, and how awesome is that? You're bringing him back, and as fans who are completely into the show, it's like thank you. We can't wait to see who's coming back from the old seasons.
Well, that's sort of, that's the fun that the writers are having with this season, is that they can go back and basically rehash episodes that we've already done, tell them from a different perspective because we're in this new timeline. But every single episode has at least a couple tips of the hat to the people who've been dedicated right from the very beginning. And, as opposed to doing the timeline reset like Lost did, which kind of pisses people off where you just erase all that history, we're going in the opposite direction where we're kind of going back on our own history and retelling those stories. So yeah, we get the best bad guy that we've ever had. He comes back.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing that he does with the redheaded lady that you were thinking about, I can't tell you, but it's pretty cool what's about to happen on the
Nice. Is that tonight's episode?
No.
We will
Tonight's episode is the second half. The episode that aired last week was supposed to be the cliffhanger last year.
Oh, really? That would have made sense.
Because of baseball.
Oh.
We got pushed by a week, so the cliffhanger ended up being last week, which is probably better for people who watch the show because 8 weeks in between is a long time. Mm-hmm. But so this is the second half of the Over There episode. There's a super cool sequence of scenes between like a fan favorite character who doesn't ever get enough on-camera love, who has this whole sequence with herself in the next episode.
Interesting.
Everybody should tune in for.
Is it the cow in Walter's office? Because I don't. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I have up at my Geek Time Twitter, I have a Josh. There's a YouTube channel that's got like. It's a primer, so if you haven't been watching Fringe, you can get on board with this little primer of Fringe, because if you're geeky and you like it, or if you just like good drama, this is a great show, and maybe this will help save it. And if if the ratings don't go up, can we do more product placement or something? Can you start wearing Nike hats? I don't care what you do to save this show. Run a Pepsi truck through it every once in a while. Right. Do that. That's fine. We just need to see the show move on.
Walter's Lab brought to you by Pepsi.
Exactly. Why not? Now, you're going to leave us in a few minutes because you're off to Sundance. What are you doing there?
In the off-season last year, I worked on a movie called Latest Favorite, and it is premiering tomorrow night at Sundance. So
nice.
I'm off to go watch a movie.
That's got to be exciting.
It's very exciting. I haven't seen the movie yet, so that's always a bit nerve-wracking. Facing an audience for the first time.
Yeah. Especially like Sundance. Nobody's critical there, right?
No, they're very accepting. Super, super casual people. But it's not my movie. The star of the movie is a woman named Rebecca Hall, and then it's Bruce Willis and Catherine Zeta-Jones. So there's some good folks in there.
Bruce Willis?
That's some heavy hitters right there.
I love Bruce Willis.
All right.
Yeah.
And do you get to hang at Sundance at all, or you just got to get on a plane and go right back to Vancouver?
I got to come back on Sunday, and then Sunday for me is a very non-geeky day. Since I was a little kid, I've been a 49ers fan, which I'm sure is going to make me super popular with your audience over there on the East Coast.
No,
we're national, baby.
I'm a Niners fan, and
get out of here, really?
Yeah, and I think they're going to have
likes
trouble.
Their uniforms.
They have maybe the best uniform in the league. But Steelers are really good too. But Niners got a great uniform.
Hey,
but I think that Giants are going to have a little trouble with them this week.
Hey, Josh, it's Jason.
I hope so. My brother, Lyman, who is a gigantic Giants fan, just needs to know that for 24 hours, we're no blood relation anymore.
Yes.
Hey, Josh, it's
like
Jason.
that.
A big Giants fan. I think the game is going to be Smash Mouth this week. I can't wait for
Me
it.
too. I'm worried, but it's going to be great old school football. Enough of this aerial attack nonsense. It's just going to be
The Giants and 49ers have great playoff history. Of course, the Giants killed Joe Montana and the rest of his career, so go Giants. Hey, a quick question. In Sundance, do you go to those like free gifting rooms, and like what stuff do you look out for?
I haven't been to Sundance in a bunch of years, but the truth is, nothing's really free.
We're on a constant loop now.
Yeah, I love this. Nothing's really free this Sunday.
Yeah, you gotta take goofy pictures and stuff like that, right?
There's goofy pictures, and there's I sort of feel like a whore, and I'm not a decent person anymore because I'm walking around with 15 bags of shit I'm never going to use.
That would be me, but I wouldn't stop doing it like you.
Well, it's like the Comic-Con guys. Every year that I've gone to Comic-Con, the bags that they give out for free get larger.
Yeah.
And I used to see people with like a body length, like a Comic-Con condom, basically body condom, filled with shit, and that's sitting in a closet right now somewhere, and it's never even been looked at.
Yeah, Josh, what's so funny? So I was cleaning up a couple days ago, and I came across some of those giant Comic-Con bags, and I go, "What am I?"
Need a Dexter insole for their shoe. You know what I mean? Like, this is stuff you never ever.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I going to do with this bag? What am I possibly going to carry around with this? My house?
And it looks normal because everyone at Comic-Con is carrying the same bag.
And you want it. You're like, I need one of those bags. And then you get it home and like, why do I have this stupid bag?
It doesn't look normal anywhere else.
If you do have to get out of like a third story, you can hold it over your head and jump. That's all it's good for, though.
Well, Josh, you got a big
burning building. It will actually protect you from the flames. You get in there.
You got a big weekend coming up. We've got Fringe tonight, 9 o'clock on Fox. Everybody watch it live so we can keep this guy working. Josh was heading out to Sundance, and then, of course, another Fox show on Sunday with the Niners taking on the Giants at Candlestick, and that's going to be an exciting. If it's half as good as last week's game at Candlestick, which was insane.
Well, how great was that? Like
insane. Well, I don't know if you remember the last time the Giants went into Candlestick. But if it comes down to a late field goal, there's going to be a riot in the streets of New York.
You know what? I think it's going to come down to something like that. I think it's just going to be one play that changes the game, and it's going to be that close.
Let me tell you, they showed that shot of the Joe Montana retired number, and then they went to Alex Smith, and I'm like, there's no way he's going to be able to drive down the field. And that bootleg could have been one of the best calls I've ever seen in a playoff game.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so ballsy. And after 7 years, and I'll admit, I've been on that bandwagon, too, of people just, like, drilling Alex Smith over and over and over again. To put the ball in his hands at the end of the game was just crazy. That game, I almost got divorced last week because I was acting like such a fool jumping up and down on my couch.
You could... I was hungover and I was jumping up and down. I mean, all those lead changes, that's what football's all about. I always say...
Given that San Francisco has been so bad for so long, we're sort of like manic depressive fans, right? I was positive we were going to lose from the coin toss. I was like, oh, let's do this up. And then they gave me a little bit of hope in the first quarter, and we came out and just sucked in the third quarter, so I knew we were going to lose. And of course, Breeze scores, and I'm like, oh, that's it. That's it. It's over. Right. And we score, and then I'm screaming like an idiot, and then they score again. I'm like, see, told you, that's it. That's it.
Are you thinking 9 seconds? Too much time left for Breeze. He could throw that 70-yard touchdown.
Exactly. Trust me, I was positive we were going to find a way to fuck that up.
I just didn't like that guy crying. There's no crying in football.
But really, are you going to tell him no?
Seriously.
Vernon Davis will find a real...
Like, who's the guy who's going to walk up to you like, you big baby?
Well, not the guy that cried at the end of Lost.
Josh, that would be me via Twitter. I am a Twitter tough guy.
Okay, yeah, I'll be a Twitter tough guy, too, because I'm not about to tell Vernon Davis really anything about anything.
Well, good luck this weekend across the board on Fringe, on Sundance, and, of course, with your Niners.
And
Josh.
Everybody watch this damn show and Fox Renewed. If you don't, we will have the audience send in red vines constantly. Even if you cancel it, we'll just keep sending them ad nauseum, Kevin Riley.
Yeah, and
so unless you want to be flooded with...
The comment has been laid down.
Yes, and then we will boycott all your other shows. As good as the network is, we'll have to boycott everything after that. Thank you.
I like this.
Thanks for calling in, Josh.
All right, thanks for having me back, you guys. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you soon. Thanks, man.
The great Josh Jackson, one of our best employees here on Geek Time. We love when he calls in.
Probably our only employee.
Yeah, well, that's true.
It's doing anything worthwhile.
Yeah.